And you're watching the Tennessee Valley this morning on this Monday edition. So glad you joined us today. We gave you the temperature there a moment ago. It's about 61 right now. And a little rain in the forecast, so take your umbrella. Do like Cheryl and take your umbrella. You were smart today.
I did. I grabbed it out of the floorboard as I was headed into the studio, and I said, I am not going to have a bad hair day today.
Planning ahead, that's what you do. Speaking of planning ahead, that's something that Life Care Corporation, located here in Cleveland, does every year, and they do it so well. And here to tell us about some of the planning that they've done about Operation Christmas Child is Cari Shanks, Director of Public Relations for, it's early, for Life Care Corporation, and we're just delighted to have Cari with us today.
Thank you.
First time you've been on the show with us.
I know.
We've had some of your colleagues, I use that term loosely, Ryan Faricelli, he's one of the movie guys. He comes on frequently.
Like those cousins you see a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Except he's every Friday.
He is he shows up. No, and he's fantastic. So.
He really is. He's a good friend, and we're just delighted, though, that you're here today to tell us about Operation Christmas Child. It's something I think the entire community looks forward to every year, and you can tell that they do because they get involved.
Absolutely. Well, our community involvement has just been very strong from year to year. I think it continues to build, and we've seen a great response in years past. Last year, our community contributed 42,114 boxes just from our area, and I think that is a very strong response, and Life Care collected altogether almost 182,000 boxes. So if you think of that 42,000 plus being part of that larger number, we are a strong contributor to the program, and that makes us very proud.
And how many 18-wheelers will that fill up? Wow, that's a bunch.
Quite a few. So we are very thankful for all of the partners that make it happen to get these boxes on the road and get them to the distribution centers and get them ready to go and send around the world to let people know everywhere that God loves them, and He does know where they are, and He remembers them.
Just in case there may be somebody watching who is not familiar with Operation Christmas Child, and if you're not familiar, I can't imagine where you've been living in this community, because everybody, it seems, knows about Operation Christmas Child. But just quickly, give us a snapshot of what this program is.
Well, Operation Christmas Child is a program that is sponsored by Samaritan's Purse, which is an organization founded by Franklin Graham, who's the son of the Reverend Billy Graham. I don't know when we finally get to stop saying who he's the son of, because he's come into his own, certainly, and has a strong ministry focus. But for years, this organization has been going around the world sending gifts in a shoebox, is how it started, and it includes hygiene items, school supplies, toys, hard candy, and packing those up, sending them out with prayers and love, and letting them be distributed in countries that are third world countries that are devastated by war or natural disasters, and letting them know, that the love of Christ is available to anyone, but showing them love in a tangible way, and just demonstrating, caring for people on a very basic level of need.
Give us an example of some of the countries where these shoeboxes go, Cari.
Shoeboxes have gone around the world. They've gone to India, they've gone at one point to Vietnam, they've gone to Haiti, most recently in the wake of the devastating earthquake there. They have been to South America, Southeast Asia. They've gone to the Ukraine, to the former Eastern Bloc countries. So they've had a worldwide span
all
and influence.
Corners of the globe, it seems like. Describe the importance. It's amazing you think, well, just a little shoebox, that can't have an impact on anybody. But describe some of the impacts and experiences that have come out of as a result of these shoeboxes.
Well, we've seen students who have actually showed up in our area. There's actually currently a student at Bryan College who was a former recipient of a shoebox. One of our ambassadors who came to speak at the Operation Christmas Child kickoff dinner this year, her name is Livia Satterfield, and she had been in an orphanage in a former Eastern Bloc country. And not only did she receive a shoebox, her big dream was to get hair clips. And she got hair clips, and she said, when I got those hair clips, I put them all in my hair all at once. So she went ahead and just tried them all out because she was so excited, because gifts were so rare, and if they received gifts, often the orphanage workers would take them away. And so this was something that was her own, that was not going to be removed. And the greater bit of the story is that one of the team workers who was there distributing boxes ended up adopting her and bringing her here. And now she is a speaker for Samaritan's Purse and Operation Christmas Child specifically. And she'll actually be in Cleveland with us on Wednesday. So we're looking forward to having her here and hearing more about her testimony and what something that seems so simple can do, something that's so profound. And I think sometimes we take it, we forget that we feel like these small gestures really don't add up or they don't mean a whole lot, but you don't know, what that can mean or what that can do in the life of a child. And someone who works at Life Care says, one box represents one child, which represents one family, which could represent one community and a village, and you never know how far-reaching those effects can be. So don't take it for granted that someone else will fill a box. Be sure to take advantage of that this week and bring one out.
Oh, and it's so much fun for the people filling up the boxes. You've done it before.
I've done that before, and a girlfriend and I from work actually went, and it was really fun, but it also touches your heart because you're thinking about what can you put in this box that is going to have an impact. And I actually took my box with me so I could make sure that everything fit, because I didn't want there to be, I can't get that in the box. But it's not just the recipient that gets a blessing. It's the giver. It really is.
You're exactly right. It's amazing the impact that one little shoebox can have. But you mentioned, let's explore this a little further. You mentioned the young lady had hair clips. So obviously there's a way to separate these boxes out between boys and girls, because you wouldn't want that going to a little boy.
Right. Boys aren't too big on hair clips. And so, but what you can do is either at Life Care at our maintenance building, we have labels, or you can go to SamaritansPurse.org, which is their website, and they have printable labels. Or if you picked up yesterday's Cleveland Daily Banner, there is our ad that we ran promoting had 2 labels there, and you can cut them out of the newspaper. So, and you can indicate what age group you would like the box to go to, whether it's a boy or a girl.
Just write it on the box.
Exactly. Write it on that label, tape it to the box, and then in that way it's designated, so you know what age group you're targeting.
Now, when you pack the box, and tell us what's in the box, then I'll come back to my question. What do you put in these little boxes?
Well, there's a variety of items you can put in. Some of the main needs are hygiene items like a bar of soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, a
things that we take for granted.
Very much. I mean, we got up this morning and it was just there to be had, and that's just not the case in a lot of places where these boxes go. So don't send liquids because of restrictions, but some of those basic hygiene items are wonderful. Hard candy, don't send chocolate because chocolate melts and kind of as much as we love chocolate, but the harder candies, you can put those in a Ziploc bag. Same thing for the hygiene items. Put them in a Ziploc bag so the soap's, fragrance doesn't permeate the candy and that kind of thing. You can send all kinds of, hairbrushes, small toys, if you want to send stuffed animals or jump ropes, or there's all kinds of, wonderful sunglasses, slinkies, and anything like that, things that children would really enjoy. Send those on as well, and pray over the box, before you send it. And often people will send a letter in their box just saying, hi, here's who we are, send a photograph of yourself. And Livia, who was speaking to us, again, who was the box recipient, she said they love that when there's a letter or something. And sometimes they will write back and just let you know, thank you, and you can hear from them a little bit about their story, and that happens from time to time. So those collections of items like that, just kind of basic needs, treats, just very, very basic things in our minds, but some of these children have never received a gift in their lives, so it will be just something extraordinary.
What about the age group? Is there a grouping of ages that you should put the boxes for?
Well, again, if you get one of the labels, they have the ages broken down from toddlers all the way up to preteens. So you can kind of choose your age range.
And you decide when you're stuffing the box what age group you want it to go for.
Age-appropriate things. And if you're sending an item that requires batteries, send the batteries too. Because the batteries, if you want to send a flashlight or something like that.
Do they like flashlights?
Sure, you never know. There's places where electricity may be limited, or that's a real.
And you can get those little small things now.
Little packs that'll go with them, or go ahead and put them in. Either way. But it's just wonderful to supply those, again, things that we take for granted.
Even like a box of crayons.
Yes.
And some paper. I know that's when I was filling my box up. I thought, just something where they can be creative and do just something for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's true. And thinking about that and praying about that for direction. What do I need to put in this box? My husband and I, a couple of years ago, we did them. We kind of felt like we needed to send them for older boys. We feel like the younger kids we think of really quickly, and they're so sweet, and they're the first ones. But I thought, I wonder what the older kids, what their experiences are. So we actually went and bought polo shirts and put them in so they could actually have
they love that.
a nice shirt to wear, in addition to all the the little hacky sacks and things that we found and we put in that year. But if you think about making it age appropriate, that's also really smart as well.
Now it's important that the box not be sealed, right? You leave the lid
Yeah,
loose.
you can leave it loose or wrap it with a rubber band, because they will be, checked on and make sure they're ready to go and packed. I know Samaritan's Purse has their way of getting all boxes ready to ship.
Right.
So they will be looked at. So that's why it's just to leave them. If you rubber band them, that's
Just
a
put
really
rubber
smart
band
way.
around the lid. Don't tape it down. Just put a rubber band.
Right.
And it's suggested that if you can, as I understand when me and my wife used to do it when she was still alive, that we'd put a $5 bill in the top.
And the $5 bill is increased to $7 now,
$7
and
now?
it's to pay for the shipping, all the processing, all the things that it takes to get those from your home into the hands of a child. And so that's going to be very helpful if you can tape that to the inside lid of the box. And there's envelopes at the Life Care Maintenance Building when you come to drop these off. If you need a little envelope to slip that in, you're welcome to.
Now, what about the boxes themselves? Are there still some boxes available? Can we go by Life Care?
Yes, if you go by the Life Care Maintenance Building, which is at 3001 Keith Street, we'll have a little banner out front. If you go there are pre-printed boxes that are one piece that can be assembled, and you can put those together if you don't have boxes of your own. Sometimes people will go get little plastic containers with a lid, and if you do that, it's nice just to, or even with the box, tuck a little piece of cloth or something in there that will kind of line it, and then you can put everything together and present it nicely. But you can do that a couple of ways. If you don't have a ton of shoe, a lot of us girls, we have plenty of shoe boxes in our closet we can just pull out.
Yeah.
But if you're not one of those, those are two ways to handle that and package things really nicely.
Yeah, it's amazing what has grown, what this ministry has grown into. I've seen pictures and video of the actual processing center where all the boxes end up, I guess, somewhere in North Carolina. And it's just tons and tons and rows and rows and rows of boxes and volunteers checking the boxes and packing them up and putting them in the shipping crates, and it's quite an operation.
It's a big job, and it builds from our collection centers. And this week is the final collection week for Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes. Going on at the Life Care Maintenance Building.
Starting today.
Starting
right?
today, starting at 9 a.m. today, going till 5. We're going 9 to 5 all throughout this week. Saturday from 10 to 2. And then next Monday will be the final day for collecting boxes, and we'll start at 8 a.m. and go till 8 p.m. or just whenever they stop rolling through the door.
And you don't even have to get out of your car. You can just drop them off
It
and
is
somebody else.
drive-through service.
Yeah.
If you go to the maintenance building, there's a little opening there that you can drive your car through.
Right.
And you can stop. Usually on our last day, our Civil Air Patrol cadets are there with us. There's people who volunteer from all over. But you can pull your car in, pop the trunk, or open the doors. People will come in and remove the boxes for you. Or if you want to park your car and come in, we've got hot chocolate and coffee and treats, and come and stay a while and watch the process. Come on over when y'all are done. Let's just go get a snack. But that's a wonderful way just to stop and watch how the boxes get packaged up and processed from this location.
Right.
But you're welcome. The community's welcome to come out and do that as well.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Starting today, and I know you'll want to get involved as well and get your shoebox packed. It is, as Cheryl said, it is so much fun.
It is.
The giver, I think, is blessed as much as the receiver. And I hope you'll get involved. And let's make this a record year. It seems like it's grown every year, Cari.
It grows quite a bit, and we're hoping to exceed last year's totals, certainly. And I know these are trying times for a lot of people, but I think all of us can make some kind of effort, no matter what it may be, even if it's just volunteering, coming out and helping. That's a great way to contribute as well.
And you don't have to spend a ton of money to make these kids happy. I mean, we used to go to the dollar store. And it's amazing the things you can get for $1 to put in these boxes, and the kids that receive the boxes just love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
they do.
It really is Christmas to them.
It's exciting.
Cari Shanks, thanks so much for coming by and sharing with us about Operation Christmas Child. Remember, that's the collection starting today, so go by and drop off your shoe boxes for Operation Christmas Child sometime between today and when's the closing?
Next Monday
Next
will
Monday.
be the final day, but we start from 9 to 5 today.
So you got a week to get her done, as some comedians say, get her done, okay? 7:03, we have to take a break. You're watching the Tennessee Valley this morning. I want to thank Cari for coming by.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
We'll be back in just a moment.